Good morning, everybody. It's afternoon. It's at 12. Good Monday afternoon. I hope your weekend went well. And I am Coach April with Eat Ketoish, and today we're going to discuss breaking up with your toxic food addictions and food habits. Um, so many of us don't even realize we have a food addiction, especially to sugar. And you think, well, I don't eat a lot of sugar. You would probably be surprised if you aren't looking at labels how much sugar you're actually ingesting, even in things that aren't really sweet. Sugar's added. So sugar is added. I, I saw recently someone said their local hamburger place even added sugar to their hamburgers. I was completely shocked by that one. I know in like processed foods that you buy, sugar is often an added ingredient. Sorry, my nose itched. So we're going to discuss how are we, because you're probably thinking, well, I can't live without my whatever that one thing is, without bread, without sugar. And if you're like a lot of people, you probably do have an actual addiction to sugar, and it is so we're gonna have to treat it like an addiction. Um, so if you're an addict, if you're an alcoholic, you're not gonna have alcohol in your home, right? You're not gonna have easy access to alcohol. Maybe maybe there is some in your home, but it's under lock and key. You can't get to it. Um, you can do that with other things. For me, I feel like your whole family, it's not going to hurt them not to eat sugar at the house. Um, and I know not everybody has the same support system, but um, cleaning out your house so that you don't have easy access to the food addiction problems, processed carbohydrates and sugar, potato chips and bread, um, all turn into glucose, into sugar in your mouth. As you chew them up, there actually is a Dr. Bernstein, I think is his name. He is a type 1 diabetic who's in his 80s, and he's written a book on how to treat type 1 diabetes um, without lots and lots of insulin. And there's a group called Type 1 Grit that is on social media. So if you have type 1 diabetes, I really recommend those. Um, but what he did was he went and did an interview with some of the American Diabetes Association, one of their representatives, and he took strips to test sugar, and he chewed them up, and he chewed up like things that are high carbohydrate, and tested them in his mouth before they even reached his gut. It turned to sugar in his mouth and registered as sugar. The strips were black. So he proved through that interview that um, carbohydrates turn to sugar in your mouth. Um, so all of it is a sugar addiction, and that's what we're trying to break here. Um, so cleaning out your house is number one. That's the first thing you need to do, is throw out any foods that are high in carbohydrate, processed foods that have lots and lots of additives and garbage in them. Get those out of your house, because if they're there, you're gonna eat them. And would alcoholic? I mean, would you recommend that alcoholic drink all their liquor bottles and clean and drink it all up before they get rid of it? No. This is the same thing. We're going to treat this as an addiction because it is. And that is how you break up with your food addiction. Also, having a plan. So maybe there are people who like quit smoking and they do it in stages. You can, if you know you can. It is. Do you know yourself enough? Do you know that you need to cold turkey, or do you need steps? So having steps, maybe you're going to eliminate all all sweet desserts. You're gonna not have any of that in your house for a week or 2 weeks. And then you're going to move to no bread or no chips. And so each week you eliminate more things. You can do it in stages, but you need a plan. You also need a plan to deal with certain situations. So if you're busy, you're going out, you're going to a party, have a plan. If you're going out to eat, go ahead and look up the menu and find out what your best options are. A lot of places, you can just do a search and find out what the lowest carb options are. Most of the time, you want to avoid sugary condiments such as ketchup, and you want to avoid sauces. Sauces are usually very high in carbohydrates. Sauces and some dressings. So a vinaigrette is probably a little bit better, but you don't want a honey vinaigrette or a some kind of fruit vinaigrette that is high in sugar. You want one that's more acidic. So also you want to stock your pantry and your fridge and freezer with things that are convenient for you. So when you're busy or not feeling like you're going to eat, not feeling like cooking, you have something readily available. Because if you have something readily available, you're more likely to not stray. But when you're tired and you don't have anything in your house and you don't have a plan, that's when you're most likely to fall off and fall back onto your old habits, which we're trying to break. Get buy-in from the other people in your life. So this is going to sound really silly, but you need to tell people, like that friend who's the enabler who brings you the your favorite sugary dessert or treat or something and leaves it on your desk, or brings you donuts and sugar laden coffee, or that friend or that family member who bakes your favorite dessert for certain events. You need to talk to these people and you need to explain, look, I have a problem. I am a sugar addict. So, just like Alcoholics Anonymous, and I do joke with some of my clients that I am their sugar, what do they call them? Sponsor. Yeah, I'm your sponsor. For people in my program, I'm their sponsor. They can reach out. We can talk about it when they're feeling cravings, when they're having trouble, and we can come up with a plan, come up with alternatives, help them think outside the box on ways to deal with this. But get buy-in and support. It really explain that, look, this is really affecting my health. I want to be a better friend, a better spouse, a better mom, a dad, whatever you are to that person. And I need your help because I truly do have an addiction. And I need your buy-in. I need your support that you're not going to tempt me and bring these things around me. Now, some people are going to laugh. But this is as serious as being an alcoholic. Because sugar leads to inflammation. I've done many videos on all of the damage that sugar is doing in your body. It leads to leaking in your veins and arteries. And that's where the narrowing of your veins and arteries, damage to your nerves, eyesight, diabetes kills. like you can lose limbs. I mean, there's so many things that, and a lot of us are pre-diabetic or diabetic and don't even know it because we just don't even go to the doctor because we don't want to know. Um, so stay, so like make sure that they understand that you are serious and that this is serious, and get their support. Confession, that's what I just said. You have to admit to yourself, I am a sugar addict. I cannot go into the candy store. I cannot go to the restaurant with that puts the big basket of bread on the table because I'm going to eat it. And I'm not going to have the willpower to say no. I can't go to the Mexican restaurant with a thing of chips and just not eat it. And all that turns to is glucose and fructose and sugar into my body. And I can't do that anymore. I want to be healthy and I am an addict. So, confessing to yourself and to others, getting their buy-in and support, having a plan on how to deal with certain situations, have an alternative to some of the things you know are going to be at the party, eat before you go to the party, and pick the things that are the healthiest options when you are there. Bring something that you love. Bring those keto sausage balls that are just so addictive that even people who aren't on keto love them. Bring the cream cheese balls, or mini cheesecakes, or mini no bake cheesecakes, cookies, whatever your favorite keto recipe. I actually have a party recipe guide that's on my website. If you go to my website, www.eatketoish.com, so eatketoish.com, if you go to that website and there's a pop-up box, and if you give your email address, you'll get a party guide with recipes for going to parties. So those are options that you can bring with you, so you're not as tempted, and you know at least the food you brought will be okay to eat. Eating until you're full. Do not. So we've got this mentality, because we've been told this over and over, that you need to eat less to lose weight, and that's not true with keto. You need to eat less often, but you eat until full. Like, you eat. We're not calorie restricting. So you eat until you're full, and you fill up on good fats. And when you fill up on the good fats, the avocado oil, the butter, the ghee, the olive oil, coconut oil, meat fats, those rich foods, when you fill up on those, you're not going to have room to eat the sugary things that you thought about eating. So that's another option. That's another tip. And replacing your habits. So say I have a family member that used to smoke, and when they smoked, they drank. When they drank coffee, they smoked, and vice versa. So they had to stop drinking as much coffee when they gave up smoking, and then they didn't want the coffee as often. If you know that, say in a social situation, when you drink alcohol, you smoke. Well, you probably want to limit your drinking alcohol while you're trying to give up smoking. The same thing, replace those habits. If you know that you eat when you sit down to watch television at night, and you're not hungry, you're just had dinner, you're just eating because it's a habit, because it's something that you do with your spouse after the kids go to bed. Do something else. Play cards. Play a board game. Read a book. Find another activity to replace the activity that you do while you're eating. Even changing seats. We all have our favorite seats at home while watching television. Even changing where you sit can help you break the habit, because it's a habit. Doing things that raise your endorphins or your dopamine, because eating high carbohydrate foods and sugar, high carbohydrate foods that turn to sugar, and eating sugar gives your brain a dopamine hit, and it feels good, and so you feel good when you do it while you're eating it. Now you don't feel good later on. You're gonna have a sugar crash, and you're gonna feel awful, and then you're gonna want more sugar, and you're gonna crave more sugar, and you're gonna eat it again. So exercise can raise your endorphins. Walking, going out in the sunshine, and just getting, and that's also good for your immune system, for your vitamin D levels. Sunshine is just wonderful. It's a de-stressor, and when you are stressed, you are more likely to go to foods that are raise your dopamine. So exercise, walk, sunshine, meditation to calm and relax you, music, listening to your favorite songs, getting enough sleep, and eating healthily and nutritiously. When your body is feeling healthy, it craves healthy things. It actually knows that these healthy things make you feel better, so you actually start to think about wanting the healthier options. If you are in a relationship, some adult time is another way to raise your endorphins. And if you're not, there's other ways to raise your endorphins too. But exercise, walk, sunshine, meditation, music, sleep, eating healthy, eating until you're comfortably full, because if you're hungry, you're more likely, if you're stressed, you're more likely to fall back on old habits. Get support and buy-in from others, and admit to yourself what the problems are. Have a plan. Have items of convenience at your home that are ready to go for those times when you are tired. Have plans for when you go out to a restaurant. Have plans for when you go to a party. Like I said, you can sign up on my website and get my recipes, my party recipe book, with recipes that you can take to events and know you have a good option. Clean out your house. Get those things out of your house so you are not tempted by them. Because if they're there, you're gonna eat them. It's kind of like if you're stopping smoking, you're not gonna have a carton of cigarettes in your pantry or in a closet above your refrigerator. You're not gonna have cigarettes in your house, because you know that if you have them there, you're gonna smoke them. So this is an addiction, and we're breaking up with our addiction. So we are saying bye-bye. Breaking up with your food addiction is also kind of like breaking up with that toxic boyfriend, girlfriend, that toxic relationship. It is a toxic relationship, and it's doing nothing but harm to you. So love yourself enough. Care for yourself enough to say, I'm going to be strong, and I am going to do the things I need to do to stay away from those things. So you're just like, you're not going to text or call that ex. You may have a friend that takes your phone. Have a friend that helps you, that's accountability for you while going through your breaking your addiction. It's best to have someone in your home. If you live in a house with other people, it's best to have at least one other person that's going to help you stay on track. If you live alone, a best friend, a family member, your mom, somebody who will help you stay on track. So clean out your house, get support, have plans. Admit it to yourself that you have a problem. Eat until you're full. Get full on good fats. Find activities to replace your activities that you did while you were eating the junk food, which is usually like watching television. Change your seat, play cards, go for a walk, exercise, sunshine, meditation, play a game, any of those things to get you back on track, so that you're not addicted any longer. It will be hard the first few weeks, just like cigarettes and alcohol. The first few weeks are the hardest. You will have some withdrawal symptoms. I also always recommend electrolytes, 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 electrolytes. Every single day, electrolytes. If you are going lower carb, your body is going to retain less fluids. As you eliminate those fluids, so going to the bathroom, you are going to eliminate electrolytes with them, and you need to replace them. Water is great, but actually drinking too much water can also lower your electrolytes, because you're flushing them out every time you go to the bathroom. And your water's not replacing the electrolytes. So a lot of people are told they're dehydrated, they go and drink more water, and they get more dehydrated, because dehydration is usually electrolyte imbalance. So that is huge. Do not go low carb without making sure you have a sugar-free electrolyte option that you have every day. I do have videos on my YouTube channel, Eat Ketoish, on avoiding the keto flu, and it talks about which symptoms are related to which electrolyte, like sodium, potassium, magnesium, etc. So make sure that you know that you're getting electrolytes, and break up with that toxic food. It's going to be what's best for you in the end. I know it's hard now, but later on you're going to meet the right food, like the right Mr. and Ms. Right, and it is going to make you feel so much better and a world of difference in your life. So break up with your toxic food habits and use these tips. And if you need more support, if you need your sugar and carbohydrate sponsor, I can help you with that in my program. If you go to eatketoish.com, you can find out ways to work with me. You can schedule a call, and I can help you and be there for you. Check in on you, give you meal plans, give you ideas, and help you work through beating your food addiction and your toxic food habits, and replacing them with good, healthy habits, so you can live a lifetime of health. So wishing you a wonderful week, and remember, we're breaking up with those toxic foods.